He's become the first Supercross odds-on favorite in 1997. Number 20, Doug Henry, opened the season with a second and the checkers at the Los Angeles Coliseum. He found it difficult holding back his joy, and the fans joined in his happiness knowing they were witness to one of Supercross's most incredible comebacks. Henry then added the title at the Seattle Kingdome to his trophy case. Tonight, from Indianapolis, Doug Henry continues his quest for Supercross's most prestigious title. RCA Dome in Indianapolis. It's round 5 of the AMA Ford Bikes Unlimited Supercross Series. Art Ekman, David Bailey, Davey Coombs, and Marty Reed. Heat number 1 is underway. Jeremy McGrath has the whole shot. McGrath has looked tremendous in practice.
He's looking good so far in this heat race. He hasn't gotten a whole shot, been able to pull away all season. He's over the triple jump. No one else is. Now he's got a pretty nice lead.
A good lead on Jeff Matasevich, number 951. This probably will be his last race here in Indianapolis before going to Japan. Damon Huffman in third. Not for long. Esberlin shot right by him for third place.
And further back in the pack, Larry Ward has suffered a problem. He's riding around the tail end of the pack. Something wrong with the left side of his motorcycle.
Out in front, Jeremy McGrath. This is a key race for Jeremy to see how this qualifying machine is running.
Well, one thing is different already. He's got the whole shot. He's starting to pull away. He's got Matasevich there for a little bit of a buffer. Over Ezra Lutz has been riding fantastic lately, and he's changed colors. No more yellow. He's in the navy blue.
Little superstition, Davey?
I think so. Those first 4 races, he got better and better with each race, but unfortunately, he still hasn't won. Maybe this is what he needed.
Ezra Lutz, Huffman, and then Mike LaRocco also making that triple. The top 4 riders now. Oh, Matasevich goes flying. Lutz goes down. So right now it's Jeremy McGrath, Damon Huffman, Mike LaRocco, and Mike Kudrowski, along with Bradshaw, number 10 in 4th.
So Lutz is up and away, but that cost him valuable time. That could throw off his whole night. Now his starting position for the main event could be a little worse than he would have hoped. And McGrath's got even a bigger lead, back to Huffman.
Only 4 riders advancing to the main event out of this first qualifying heat as we got right to the racing from Indianapolis. McGrath with a big lead, but Damon Huffman in second place is capable of good speed. LaRocco in third, Mike Kudrowski in 4th, Bradshaw in 5th. That'll be a good bubble. That'll be a good bubble battle.
See right there, Huffman able to go for that triple. This triple has been really tough for all the riders. Not much of a run at it. Huffman goes for it. Didn't really make up that much time on LaRocco and Kudrowski, though. And not that often you see Kudrowski.
We got the report from Marty Reed down below that Larry Ward had a flat tire and it forced him out of action. He'll have to go to the semifinal round.
Right now, Kudrowski's putting a lot of pressure on LaRocco. I was about to say, you don't see LaRocco this early in the heat race with a look at the leaders like this. But he's been riding good all night. Perhaps hometown crowd has gotten him fired up.
From nearby South Bend, Indiana, a great crowd favorite here in Indianapolis. LaRocco received a tremendous ovation in the earlier lineup announcements. Right now, it's McGrath out in front, Huffman in second, LaRocco in third, with Kudrowski number 100. Number 10 is Bradshaw. Number 9 sneaking up into the action is Ryan Hughes. Does he have enough time to possibly challenge for a transfer position?
At the pace he caught these guys, there's definitely enough time.
What exciting action in our first heat. Who will get the choice gate positions? We'll find out when we return.
Introducing the all-new Suzuki GSX R600. It's so quick, so intense, so dominating. Just to be fair, you might want to give the competition a bit of a head start.
1/900 pro race. Up to the minute race results now. Bar to bars and goes over the triple. And Pingree right on his tail. Tries to box him out, does so. Never the window. Whoa!
You call 1/900
control race.
Bradshaw coming up now to challenge Doug Henry.
Oh, Henry goes down with James Dobb.
1-900 Pro Race is absolutely the best.
Oh, what a bar-to-bar battle we've got going.
1-900 Pro Race, except no substitute.
Do you need a Visa credit card? If you can say yes to these minimum requirements, we'll say yes to you. This is a special opportunity to get an unsecured Visa credit card with no security deposit required, even if you've been turned down before and regardless of your past credit history. Almost everyone will be approved for this Visa credit card, so call now. Repeat, if you can say yes to these minimum requirements, we'll say yes to you. Say yes to this limited no-risk offer for an unsecured Visa credit card from Cross Country Bank. Call this toll-free number now.
AMA Supercross on ESPN2 is being brought to you by Honda, the Red Riders, winner of the last 9 straight 250 Supercross championships. And by Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. Welcome back to Indianapolis, the RCA Dome. It's our 5th round of Supercross, our first qualifying heat of the evening. And Jeremy McGrath is strutting his stuff out in front of LaRocco and Mike Kudrowski right here. Damon Huffman is in second, but here comes LaRocco leaping over Mike Kudrowski, and Bradshaw, number 10, starting to put on the brakes.
And Kudrowski, he didn't go for the triple, still took the inside of the corner and took the line away from LaRocco. He's moved into third.
Very interesting strategy.
Riding the best we've seen him ride all year long.
Kudrowski saying earlier that he wants to be very, very ready for Daytona, his favorite race course.
Now he's starting to peak at a good time. Daytona isn't that far away. Kudrowski looks like he's on form. He's losing time to the leaders, Jeremy McGrath, but he's still making time on these two fellas.
LaRocco's starting to make up a little bit of space now as Huffman has pulled it down to a 4.5-second lead for Jeremy McGrath. Bradshaw having his problems.
It's a tough rhythm section right there, depending on how you come out of that corner, whether you jump the first one or wait and jump the next two. Bradshaw coming up a little bit short.
Guys, we have had tremendous qualifying racing this year.
Yeah, you know, I'm watching Damon Bradshaw, and I figured that Damon would be able to crack that triple when he comes around every lap. If you notice, he's not doing it. He's got Hughes on him now, but they got to get up to LaRocco if these guys want to get a qualifying spot.
Only the top 4 will get out of qualifying heat number 1 to go right to the main.
All the ruts are starting to develop. You see even in the corners now, in the face of all the jumps, a lot of ruts. The rider's unable to jump over the entire finish line jump now.
Jeremy McGrath is out front looking like the old Jeremy. This could be his first heat win of the 1997 season.
And subsequently, we might see our first in-race knack-knack on that Suzuki. We haven't seen one yet this year.
The battle is behind McGrath as he now laps a slower rider, Damon Huffman, holding true in second place. Kudrowski in third.
Bradshaw going for the triple that time, Davey. Got a good run out of the corner. I think he senses Ryan Hughes. Whoa, Ryan Hughes on the move, hits the hay bale, saves it. With the pressure on Bradshaw, and Damon knew he had to get over that triple or Ryan was going to get by.
You know, I'm surprised by both these riders this year. I know that Hughes had that one podium finish in Phoenix, but all year long I was expecting so much more out of Rhino and Bradshaw.
I think they're expecting a lot more out of themselves, too, and it's been a little bit of bad luck.
White flag lap. Hughes gets by Bradshaw. He's going to try to test LaRocco for the final transfer. LaRocco, number 5, is going to try to hold on to the 4th position.
Just before the mechanics areas where Ryan has been so fast, even though he hit that hay bale that last lap, that won't scare Rhino. If he's close enough, he can pass him there.
Oh, he jams it into the corner. Bradshaw lets him through. Rhino starting to make a move for the final transfer spot. Huffman in second, number 17. 100 is Kudrowski in third. Here's Jeremy McGrath.
He didn't throw it.
He's all business right now, gentlemen. He hasn't had his first win of the 1997 season yet.
Well, here comes the finish line jump.
The checkers for Jeremy.
That's got to feel good.
Huffman Kodrowski and LaRocco go to the main event as Hughes was just short in the 5th position. So we got some great riders having to go to the semifinal round. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Tricia Springer, and we're here for the Stars Free Preview. Today and all weekend, we're going to bring you the best in first-run films, as well as some timeless classics. This Free Preview weekend, you'll see movies like Mr. Holland's Opus, White Squall, Mr. Wrong, and Happy Gilmore. If you love movies, keep watching all weekend long. The Stars Free Preview. You won't want to miss a minute.
That's an 8-minute ab stomach, and so is that, and that too. Hi, I'm Jamie Brankus, and I created 8-minute abs. My scientifically designed sequence isolates each section of your waistline, all in just 8 minutes. Call this toll-free number to get yours for just $19.95 and get 8-minute funds absolutely free. We'll even include a $5 rebate coupon. It's a $40 value for just $14.95 with rebate. Now it's your turn to have a flat, tight stomach. Pick up the phone and order yours right now.
NBA Tonight, Tuesday through Saturday at midnight, only on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the RCA Dome as we take a look at the Suzuki AMA Supercross results. McGrath, Huffman, Kodrowski, and LaRocco making the main event out of the first qualifying round. Let's go down to the floor of the stadium now with Marty Reed.
Well, guys, it's been a while, but he's back in victory lane. And Jeremy McGrath, it's one of those situations where sooner or later we knew we were going to see you back here. It was a little later than you expected, though.
Well, I'd like to apologize to all my fans. You know, it's been 5 races, and they're not usually used to that, and neither am I. So I'd like to thank Suzuki for being real patient with me. Everyone's been great, and, you know, it's going to come sooner or later, and right now is the time.
Is tonight the night for the main?
I feel really good. My Suzuki's working great, and this off week we had last week, we did a lot of testing, and, you know, I don't see any reason why not.
We're going to find out. Here's your winner, Jeremy McGrath, heat number 1.
Thank you so much, Marty. 4 more gate positions will soon be filled over the second qualifying heat as Hughes, Bradshaw, Luskin, Ward will have to go to the semifinal round. Heat number 2 getting set now. And taking a look at the Suzuki track map, David Bailey, we've got a luxury of a long chute to get things started here on this track.
Well, they do get to string things out a little bit, but that makes the first corner a little tighter. We've already seen some problems here tonight. Guys not having enough room on the outside. Then you go into a rhythm section, then into a triple. The triple doesn't have much of a run at it. It's been tough for the riders all night long. And then on the bottom of your screen, another triple. That's been getting ruts in the face of it. You get a great run at it, but you also sink into it. Gets bad ruts, and these guys later in the race won't be able to do it. And a huge finish line jump leads into one of the toughest whoop sections of the year.
Davey Coombs?
Well, I think that we're going to see a lot of what we saw in Seattle. The track's going to break down as the night goes on. And, gentlemen, that's great racing. You get a lot of different ruts, a lot of optional lines, a lot of different staggers on the jumps and everything. By the end of the night, we might see some greater action.
Well, that would really put a challenge to Jeremy McGrath because the worst performances he's had over his career have been on rutted tracks. Okay, we're set now for heat number 2. Doug Henry, Emig, Albertine, Lamson, Craig, Button, Slink. It is Emig, number 3, getting the big shot with Michael Craig, number 15, in close pursuit. Right now, number 20, Doug Henry, blows by Michael Craig for second place.
Henry's right there again, always out front. Maybe not in the lead, but always with a look at the leader. Look, already working to the inside, putting the pressure on Emig.
Jeff Emig with 1 win on the season. Doug Henry with 2 victories on this season. And it's only round number 5 here in Indianapolis. Great shot at the height that these riders get off that triple jump. Here comes Henry to the inside, but he doesn't quite have it. At the end of the first lap, it is Emig, Henry, Michael Craig, Albertine.
Henry's been fast in this whoop section all day. Made a little bobble right there. Look at that, not following, squares the inside, trying to set up Emig. relentless.
You know who's close to qualifying here, guys? The 125 rider from the West, Kevin Windham, is in 5th position. Will he put a charge on Albertine?
There's no doubt he'll put a charge on both these guys going for the triple.
Here we go. Henry. But here comes Emig right back in the whoop section. A good place for Emig to put on the power.
Well, he just couldn't get out of that corner and get his speed up soon enough. As soon as he come out of the corner, you got to go through those whoops, start going up through the gears, and he just couldn't get there quick enough. Emig responded.
David, are you surprised to see Doug Henry charging this early in a heat race?
Not at all. He's got so much confidence. The first lap in practice, he goes out and just attacks the racetrack. He starts jumping things before anybody else. A lot of the riders are starting to key off of what he's doing out there.
Jeff Emig getting the inside route, still holding on to the top position here in qualifying heat number 2. The top 4 riders advancing to the main event. Craig is getting some pressure from Albertine.
Henry continuing not to fall. Look at him everywhere, squaring it inside, outside. This is where he made the pass the last lap. See if Emig covers it.
Henry goes wide. Emig in the whoops.
Emig did a beautiful job. He jumped that triple, stopped to the inside, didn't give Henry anywhere to go. Great battle between these two riders, and Henry's making it one. He will not.
Henry to the inside. Can he do it on Emig? On the next corner before the finish line jump. Doug Henry. Now Emig comes squaring back with a great turn. But Henry holds on.
They're pretty close that time. I was surprised that Emig's trying to fire off on the inside there. This is only a heat race, and these guys act like it's the main event.
Oh, what heat racing we've had this year. There's been nothing like it.
It's so important to establish yourself early in the heat.
Hay Bale runs right out in the middle of the track behind these 2 leaders. Henry, number 1. Emig, number 2. A very brave track worker coming out to pick up the Hay Bale cover.
In a battle like this between Henry and Emig, so important for one of these guys to make that statement, take the lead, take it for good, and pull away and put a little bit of doubt in the other rider.
It's Henry and Emig, Michael Craig, and then Albertine, the top 4. The run for the checkers when we return to the RCA Dome.
Now, the bike you want equals big-time bucks, correct? Incorrect. Do the math. During Suzuki's S97, get up to $500 in Suzuki accessories free with a selected Suzuki, like the awesome GSX-R 1100. You also get free accessories with the Katana 600 and 750 and the RF 900R. And choose from financing options like 0 down and 9.9% APR on selected models. But hurry, Suzuki Fest won't last. So you plus Suzuki equals... Oh, come on, add it up.
I'm a soft-spoken kind of guy. There's nothing more important to me than a quiet chat with my son, Shaquille. I just marched to the phone and dialed 1-800-COLLECT. The money I saved him, he can use to buy some new backboards. Take it through the hole, Shaquille. He's gonna and they wonder where he gets it from.
1-800-COLLECT. Save the people you call up to 44%.
How do you prove you're the king of college hoops? Just log on and enter the ESPN Net Sports Zone Tournament Challenge presented by Pizza Hut and DoubleTree Hotels. Fill out your brackets. Compete against thousands of other fans. Make the right picks and be crowned king of college hoops. Log on to ESPN Net Sports Zone and you can win a trip for 2 to the 1998 Men's Final Four. Accommodations at DoubleTree Hotels and 64 large pizzeria stuffed crust pizzas from Pizza Hut. The ESPN Net Sports Zone Tournament Challenge enters starting March 9th.
Oh, the battle is still underway for first place here in the second qualifying heat in the 5th round from Indianapolis. Doug Henry coming off the win in the last race, but then a weekend off, and Doug Henry took it off. That was amazing after the momentum that he had early, but he said confidence is a big part of that.
He's been working a lot with his trainer. He's got a great schedule right now. In fact, I was just talking to his mechanic, Pete Steinbrecher, after practice, and his mechanic was asking Doug, is there anything you can do? And Doug goes, actually, no, I'm bored. And I was going, well, that's a pretty good sign. If you're bored, you've obviously done your homework.
Right now, it does not look good for Lamson and Windham and Jimmy Button. Kevin Windham testing his 250 skills after competing 4 races on a 125 out west. He's finding it a challenging adjustment.
I was real fortunate to have an off weekend, and it's been a little bit tough. You know, a lot more power, and our bikes are running great, and it's quite a bit of power difference. So I was a little bit, I guess, the bike was riding me more than I was riding the bike, you know, for a while because I wasn't really used to it. But having 2 weeks, or actually a week and a half to get used to it, we did a little bit of testing on it and got the bike set. For me, it's really good.
Emick has really responded to the aggressiveness of Henry. Henry all over Emick. I kind of thought once he made the pass, he'd pull away, but Emick is right there learning.
Michael Craig is coming up in third, gentlemen.
Everything Henry does, Emick is making the mental note. He'll be able to use some of that later on.
Yeah, it's one thing you see in a lot of different lines by these two guys. As Henry, or rather Emick, comes along the outside of him. I don't know if they're going to be saving these for the main event or not, but they've definitely got an advantage on the other guys because they're riding on every part of the track.
There's no question the 1997 Supercross is one of the most competitive since the mid-'80s.
And while this battle out front continues, Mike Craig, number 15, is right there.
Let's go down to Marty Reed.
Down here with Pete Steinbrecher. Are you worried about these guys knocking each other out so much here in the heat race? They might spend it all before the main?
Well, I think that both of those guys are going to ride pretty smart. I don't think they want to take each other out, but they both want to win. That's all there is to it.
That's right. You got to win. You got to establish yourself in the heat race.
Craig is really trying to make a move on Emick from third place. He almost tried to box him out and just didn't quite have the angle in the last turn.
If he lets it out there too far, he's going to let Albertine sneak by him at the same time. That's one thing you got to be careful of when you're racing this closely. You might be riding offensively, but you might be wanting to think about defense a little bit instead.
Henry, Emick, Craig, and Albertine, with Lamson in fifth place.
Lampson's right there. You see him just go by, going into the corner. These guys come out.
Final lap.
Emick's starting to lose just a little bit of time to Henry right now.
And Lampson's making a move on Albertine. There you see number 15 in pursuit. Michael Craig in third place. But Albertine right behind him. Here's the closest battle for the final transfer spot. Albertine taking to the inside. Lammy. Oh, boy, we've got a three-bike runoff for the final transfer.
Back out front, Emick starting to close the gap again. He gets close every time through the mechanics area here.
Here comes Emick. And the crowd going crazy.
Emick didn't have a good look at that triple jump. He wasn't able to do it, but he still didn't lose much time.
Final turn. The checkered for Henry. Emick, a great race. Craig, and then Albertine. Lamson goes to the semis. Oh, what a race. More sights and sounds of Supercross, plus Marty Reed talking with Doug Henry when we return.
Out of the shadows come three incredible motorcycles. Each one takes the look of a custom to a beautiful new place. The new Honda Shadow Spirit 1100, the new Shadow Ace Tourer, and the Shadow American Classic Edition. It's always cooler in the shadows.
In the Journal, a rock and roll banker makes massive bets.
A new court ruling could influence communications over the internet.
Will replace Hero, the boss who knows you have another life.
Subscribe now and get 2 weeks of the Journal free with a paid 10-week subscription. That's 12 weeks for 66 cents per day. Call 800-327-8400. That's 800-327-8400 for the Wall Street Journal.
Between fire and ice,
Everything points to an imminent eruption on Angel Summit.
night and day,
Angel Summit shakes all the time. It doesn't mean anything.
life and death.
Something bad is coming, and God help us if we don't get out of its way.
Nature is about to wage a war that will blow you away. Volcano, Fire on the Mountain, Sunday on ABC TV.
Oh, my God.
Welcome back. Qualifying racing is not supposed to be this great. I mean, Doug Henry and Jeff Emick went right down to the wire. And if you're into the fun with numbers and stats, the first rider to win 3 Supercross races in the first 5 events has gone on to win the championship 13 times. That's a 62% if Doug Henry should win tonight, Marty Reed.
Well, down here on the stadium floor with Doug Henry, and He's quoting statistics up there. All you're worried about is winning, and boy, you are on a hot streak.
Yeah, you know, coming out here to go out there and win my heat race, we had the last weekend off, so I wanted to come back here and kind of get back into the groove as soon as I could.
Taking a week off, everybody else is working, you're cruising. I asked Pete Steinbrecher during the race, between you and Emmett battling each other, are you going to have anything left for the main?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is just a heat race. You know, we went out there and we rode hard, but there's a lot of different lines out there that you'll probably be seeing out in the main. You know, probably be using a lot of different stuff. So I just went out there and just rode my Yamaha the best I could.
Well, you did darn good, buddy. Right. There's your winner.
Thanks.
Okay, Doug Henry. The winners of the two heats, gentlemen, old teammates, McGrath and Henry.
That's what I'd like to see tonight. See those guys start off together. I don't care if it's in the front of the pack or the back of the pack. They look like they're both on their game. I know Jeremy's doing a lot of work on the Suzuki, but David Henry's, he's a new man.
He's unbelievable. I mean, we've been talking about how it's such a shock, and to him, it's a little bit of a shock because he normally doesn't get going this good early in the season, but he's going, it's not a shock. He knew all along that he was planning on getting back to this form, and I'm inspired and impressed and proud of him for what he's overcome to get back to this level.
Okay, 8 riders now have earned their way to the main event. The battle continues to make tonight's main from Indianapolis when we get back.
Suzuki Katana riders have a single-minded focus. They love all things twisty. The tighter the curve, the better. In fact, sometimes they take this obsession a little too far.
3 root beers, please.
You guys want stars with us?
No, thanks. We got our own.
The Suzuki Katana. Get off the straight and narrow.
Get ready for the thrill of your life. AMA Supercross. Live. A Saturday night you'll never forget. AMA Supercross. Live. The guts and the glory of the best riders in the world. AMA Supercross. Live. Feel the rush of the most extreme sport on the planet. Live. AMA Supercross. The 1997 point to the finish. Live it. Live.
Honda built the first ATV. Now we've built our most powerful, the Foreman 400. Where do we go from here? Just about anywhere we want.
Hi, Chuck. How's business?
Okay.
Hey, what's on your screen?
QuickBooks accounting software from the makers of Quicken.
Yeah, I really don't have time to learn new software.
If you can write a check, you can use QuickBooks. Answer a few questions, and it tailors itself to your business. Create invoices like these. It has accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, and inventory, and over 60 customizable reports that put you in control.
I'm going to try it.
Nothing to lose.
Call 1-800-344-8300.
I guess you have the fear of the unknown, actually. I mean, everything happened so late, and I mean, I'm excited about the change.
Moving from Team Honda to a Suzuki with only 1 week's preparation created a vortex of intrigue for the entire sport.
If we don't come off with a good season this year, I better move to Australia or something. I don't know. Better go hide.
DeCoster's joy quickly turned. A prelude to the main, Mikel Pichon was lost for the season in this gruesome qualifying crash. Then it didn't take long for the 1997 season to take on an identity all of its own. Team Honda's Lone Ranger, Steve Lapson, put the 4-time champion down, not once, but twice. Jeremy's worst finish as a pro, 15th, opening the door of opportunity for some title-starved riders. After 2 years of injury and disappointment, Greg Albertine came to DeCoster's rescue with Suzuki's first Supercross win since 1991.
My motto is never give up, and paid off, man.
The mysterious plot continued in round 2 when Doug Henry captured the checkered flag, a tribute to desire, hard work, and innovative, miraculous back surgery. Then at Phoenix, a breakthrough for the living legend, who had never started a 250 season with 3 losses. McGrath, leading at the halfway mark, was looking like the McGrath of old. Then, bam, he went down. It enabled Jeff Emig to become the 3rd different rider on the 3rd different brand to win the 3 races, with a record-tying 7 riders making podium appearances.
It was the earliest that I had ever won a race. Basically, I don't think I've ever won in January. Maybe one time I won an Ultracross, but outside of that, I don't think I've ever won a race in January.
Round 4, Supercross finally had its man to beat. Doug Henry took the competitive edge, becoming the only 2-time winner so far in the season. For the points leader, a dream come true.
Yeah, I did dream that I'd be leading the points, but I wasn't sure if it was going to come true or not.
I think Lady Luck will play a bigger role this year. Those capable of winning their first Supercross and those like the leading independent Larry Ward might just end up deciding who wins the title.
I just got to, I got to win some Supercrosses and hopefully be in the hunt for the championship.
If Honda's Steve Lamson felt the need to win at the season start, the heat's really on now. You can bet after finishing 12th, 10th, 9th, and 12th, Honda, who's only experienced 1 winless season in the history of Supercross, is searching for some answers. There were just as many surprises in the 125 West. Kevin Windham was labeled a shoe-in, heel clicking his way to wins. But Brian Deegan launched his bike in victory in round 2, while Windham was looking less than perfect. Then, while Windham was looking less than lucky in Seattle, Frenchman David Villemin stole the victory. There's nothing written in stone that says at least 6 other riders don't have a chance at stealing a win from Windham before the Western season concludes.
Sportsland is the leader in automotive accessories. When you need suspension systems, call Sportsland. They carry lift kits and lowering kits, all installed in a fast and professional way. Sportsland has everything you need to customize your ride. Nerf bars, running boards, tires, and wheels, plus paint and design. And at Sportsland, we offer complete automotive detailing, so you really shine. At Sportsland, we install what we sell, like these bed liners for $149 complete. Come see the pros at 3700 South Glenstone, still the Sportsman Pickup Headquarters.
You won't believe it until you experience it. Sunday brunch at the University Plaza Hotel. From the sounds of cascading waterfalls and soft piano music to the taste and smells of such favorites as leg of lamb, turkey, pasta cooked to order, omelets, shrimp, breakfast items, and incredible desserts. Top it off with outstanding service and a fantastic atmosphere, and you'll see why the University Plaza Hotel has the best Sunday brunch in Springfield, where variety is the spice of life.
I'm snowboarder Rob Kingwell here at the Winter X Games. We were fortunate enough to get some new snow last night. Kind of reminds me of a piece by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Announced by all the trumpets in the sky arrives the snow, and driving over the fields seems nowhere to alight. The whited air hides the woods, the hills, the river, and the heavens.
AMA Supercross is being brought to you by Dunlop. Simply the best for your bike. Welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana. Art Ekman, David Bailey, Davey Coombs, and Marty Reed bringing you the Supercross action. Really, we've had some wonderful qualifying heats, getting ready for the first semifinal round, where the top 5 from this semifinal race are assured a paycheck. Marty Reed.
Well, Larry Ward in that first round had a flat front tire, and the problem was a bad valve stem. So what do we always say about those little 3-cent parts that end up costing you victory? Well, they've got a new valve stem in there, I guarantee you. And Larry says, I'll see you in victory lane.
I don't doubt it. He's second in points in his accustomed position of top non-factory rider in the point standings, David.
Yeah, I got to tell you something real funny about Larry Ward. I was walking in front of him in the pit area, and I stopped to wish him good luck, not 10 minutes before the show started, and I looked down, there was a dollar bill laying in front of me. And I said, hey, it's my lucky night. And Larry said, no, it's my lucky night. He goes, if I win, I better find a dollar in front of my bike every time after this. So if he wins, I think that had everything to do with it.
Marshall Plum is mechanic next to him there. Lots of good riders, though, in this semifinal round, trying to make the main event. Ryan Hughes, Damon Bradshaw, Ezra Lusk, just to name a few. Richard Taylor's been racing in Germany. Came home with a few marks.
Hughes narrowly missing that qualifying spot in the heat race. He came from a poor start, caught everyone quick, just ran out of time. So he's on pace. He just needs to get a little bit better start. He's lined up right to the inside of the starter's box, and Bradshaw's just on the other side. There's a look at Ryan.
Keep an eye on Yogi out there, too. Ezra got stuck on the hay bale earlier.
It's interesting because Ward is way to the left. Yogi is way to the right. We'll see who wins out. Yogi with a great start, but so is Ryan Hughes, number 9. Bradshaw, number 10, alongside of him. It's Bradshaw and Ryan Hughes. Bradshaw gets the kick. It's Damon Bradshaw here in the semifinal round number 1. Top 5 riders going to the main event. Yogi's in 3rd. Ezra Lusk in 3rd behind Ryan Hughes. Ward is in 4th.
Bradshaw looking so good at the first round in L.A. in the heat race, putting pressure on Doug Henry. Then he went down the main event, still put in a pretty good ride. And ever since then, he just hasn't really shown us that speed, that form, but he says he's happy and comfortable, and he looks it right now.
He's getting the challenge from Ryan Hughes, number 9. Damon Bradshaw, number 10. Ryan Hughes, number 9. It's Lusk in 3rd, Ward in 4th.
You're going to see this time around. Damon's going to have to jump that triple jump. If he doesn't, he's going to have a Kawasaki parked on his seat. He jumped it on the first lap. I'm anxious to see if he can do it again.
Both these guys got company from Lusk now, starting to really put the pressure on. Larry Ward starting way on the outside, got just a good enough start to be able to avoid any kind of a mess getting pushed wide. There's Matasevich trying to work his way up from behind, and Bradshaw goes for the triple this time. The first 3 guys do it, Ward couldn't.
Bradshaw maybe felt better about his angle and approach that time on the triple jump. Damon Bradshaw, who came out of retirement after a year and a half away from racing, said he picked a heck of a time to try to get back into it with all the depth that we've seen in these fields.
You know, Art, he really needs this right now. His year's gone downhill after that crash in the second turn in Los Angeles, the first night of the season. I think he'd be a different rider if he'd have just held it up that time. I know he would really like to get a win. He'll take a semi-win if that's what it takes, but I'd like to see Damon get a checker flag, get his confidence back up. He's got a lot of fans on the East Coast.
Couple of hungry riders right behind him. Ryan Hughes, looking for his first Supercross victory, collides a little bit with Lusk. Lusk slowed down, and here comes Larry Ward challenging Lusk now for 3rd.
Lusk came charging into the first corner and just couldn't quite get underneath Ryan Hughes. Ryan Hughes slammed the door. Lusk almost high-sided, lost some time. That gave Larry Ward a little bit of a advantage. He moved up to the back of Lusk. Now he's back in this race.
Since there's no one very close to Larry Ward, I wouldn't be surprised to see these top 4 guys let it hang out here.
In 5th position is Jeff Matasevich. He's about 1.5 miles behind Larry Ward.
These top 4 guys all getting out to good starts is part of the reason for that. Matasevich done a good job to work his way into 5th. If he can stay there, he'll go to the main.
A hippity hop, lots of rebound on Yogi's bike as he stays in front of Larry Ward in 3rd. Bradshaw pulling away now from the second-place rider, Ryan Hughes.
You can see coming out of the first corner, it's really tough for these guys to get lined up to jump those double jumps. Everyone's got a little bit different line. They come together right there.
The finish of semifinal number 1 from Indy coming up.
The bike you dream about means serious cash, right? Wrong, people. Do the math. During Suzuki Fest 97, get up to $500 in Suzuki accessories free when you buy a selected Suzuki. Like the muscle-bound Intruder 1400. You'll also get free accessories with the Intruder 800 and the Savage 650. And choose from finance options like 0 down and 9.9% APR on selected models. But hurry, Suzuki Fest won't last. So you and Suzuki means, well, you do the math.
You're not with AT&T, are you?
No, I'm not.
So, are you happy?
Not really.
I was happier with AT&T. Well, we're making it simple to come back. How'd you like to get 100 free minutes just for switching to AT&T? That would be wonderful.
That's a real gift.
Well, there's a lot more. Introducing the new AT&T One Rate plan. Just 15 cents a minute on calls from home to anybody, anytime, anywhere in America.
That's great. It's a flat rate, anytime, anybody, anywhere. And I'm going to presume there's going to be a charge involved.
No, it's free.
It's even better.
No fees, no minimum spending, no time requirements, no restrictions, no games.
You can't beat that.
Call 1-800-YES-2-ATT. You'll get one low rate plus 100 free minutes for switching to AT&T. So what do you think?
I think the 100 free minutes is awesome. The one rate plan is excellent. There's no restrictions, no limits.
So what are you going to do?
Pick up the phone and switch to AT&T.
One rate, 100 minutes. Call 1-800-YES-2-ATT to switch.
For 35 years, I did the sports in 4 minutes. Now you got this channel with breaking news, highlights, scores. You know, I was doing sports bloopers back then. Well, we used to call them goofy gaffes. Same garbage.
It all comes down to this. Championship week begins Sunday, March 2nd on ESPN2.
We've got a freight train of Bradshaw, Hughes, Lusk, Ward, and Matasevich here in semifinal number 1 from Indianapolis, Indiana.
I think what we're seeing right now is the track, although the track builders are trying to do a really good job of giving them a different layout, starting to develop into a little bit of a one-line situation, and these guys can't really do a whole lot to pass each other. Plus, they're already in a position to make the main event. But in the main, the longer race, you can see the rut in that corner right there, and in the face of all these jumps, that's going to get worse. And like Davey had talked about earlier in Seattle, the racing getting so good because of the rut, we may see that here.
Ezra Lusk looking a little reluctant, really, to put the press on Hughes in the corner, Davey.
Yeah, I was noticing that, too. And it looks to me almost as if Ezra's out there experimenting a little bit. He knows he's got this position wrapped up. Maybe try a few lines just in case he doesn't get the whole shot. Might have a few extra places out there on the track to sneak by some guys.
Don't want to show everyone your little secrets in heat races in the semis. If you can get around Ryan Hughes right here, Ryan would have a chance to retaliate before the end of this race.
White flag, final lap, number 9, Ryan Hughes. A dark cloud has been hanging over this kid. Food poisoning in the first round, a rock stuck in the front brake in the second round. His bike seized in round number 4. He'd like to really come back and gain a victory. Lusk banging him.
Now, Ryan's definitely got the speed, but like he said, Artie just has some bad luck this year. And I think he's written off the Supercross season. He knows there's not a whole lot he can do.
Whoa, he took the triple. Bradshaw now getting heat for the lead here on the final lap.
Bradshaw, that's going to come back to haunt him. He's going to have to jump that every lap. The one time the whole race he didn't jump that, Hughes almost got him there.
Racing so close everywhere. One mistake can cost you 2 or 3 positions. And on the final lap, give these guys a chance to go in there and take you out, but Bradshaw hangs on.
The checkers for Damon Bradshaw. So maybe, as Davey said, this might give him a confidence boost to make him more of a contender when the main event comes around. So Damon Bradshaw is our winner of the first semifinal round. We'll have the official results, and Marty visits with Damon, our winner, in a moment.
6 cylinders, 1,520 cc's. You'll go through towns where you'll be the biggest thing that happens all year. The new Valkyrie Tour. America's the boulevard it was born to cruise.
For over 30 years, Cycle News has been the weekly newspaper for motorcycle race fans. Results are official, point standings are current, and race coverage is timely and complete.
Oh, it was a great race, you know. I mean, it was an interesting race. And to win the last race and see, it's something I dreamed of when I was a little kid, is to be a Supercross star. And
Riding impressions, new products, events calendar, classified ads, and more. Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. Call 1-800-325-2925 or visit cyclenews.com on the World Wide Web. Damon Bradshaw, number 10. On a Honda this year, winning the semifinal round. That's his second semifinal win in a row. He took the semifinal win in Seattle. Damon Bradshaw, Ryan Hughes, Lusk, Ward, and Matasevich into the main event. Let's go to Marty Reed.
For the first time since he came back, Damon Bradshaw on the #1 spot. Been a little longer than you expected, but a great ride here.
yeah, it has. I haven't been here in so long, I forget how to talk on the podium. But I know I've been struggling with my starts, and I finally got off to a good start, and you know, I just need some confidence.
I think that confidence was showing out there. You had a little bit of heat right there at the end from Ryan, but you came on strong.
Yeah, I did. I started riding a little tight toward the end, but other than that, everything felt good.
Damon Bradshaw, winner, heat #1 in the semis.
Thank you, Marty, as we get ready for semifinal number 2. Atlanta, Georgia Dome next week. And if you're not in the area to check it out in person, be with us on ESPN2 Friday. That's the 28th of February, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 out west, for our television coverage from the Atlanta, Georgia Dome. Kevin Windham now trying to make the main event 250, guys.
Well, it's getting a chance to go after his 125 rival, Steve Lamson. It's kind of funny. They both end up in a semi here together. I'd like to see Kevin and Steve get away from each other, but I know both those guys really could do well in the main event. It's more important though to Lamson, so maybe a win here in this heat race or rather the semi, just what he needs, just like Bradshaw.
Lamson, Wyndham, Swink, Jimmy Button, Joshua Steele, Phil Lawrence, Corey Keeney, another 125 rider in the field. Just a few of the favorites for those top 5 positions. So the gate can drop any second now for our second semifinal round. And they're off. Lammy with a great start, number 4. Jimmy Button to his outside, number 18.
Boy, Button just rode right around the outside of him, had the better line. Lamson still controlling the inside. He should be able to hold on to the lead, but Button, he leaves the door open just enough. Button almost could have snuck back around in there. A pretty poor start for Kevin Wyndham.
Swink, number 13, in second place. Wyndham, though, has got some angles. He's buried back in the pack, as you'll see through the wood section. There's number 7, trying to bang it out to get in front.
Short race like this, a poor start's fatal if you want to win. You see, he's having to take big chances just to get through the pack right there. Doesn't look like the same Wyndham on the 125, does it?
He's in 6th place, though.
He does look good here and there, but he looks so much more confident on that 125. And it's obvious when he's out there riding, the bike's bigger and twice as hard to handle, twice as hard to get stopped, twice as much power.
Here's our real battle for second place. Jimmy Button and Brian Swink. Swink coming off hand surgery now. Zips by Button, who's had problems with a broken cartilage in the rib section.
Yeah, that's a really sharp line Brian used right there. A lot of guys having to go a little further outside to accomplish that combination. That looked good for Brian.
Once upon a time, the big rival of Jeremy McGrath while in the 125s. Both of them back-to-back winners in the 125 East and West divisions. Lamson out in front. Brian Swink in second. Jimmy Button getting a challenge now. He's getting the challenge from Phil Lawrence coming back. Well, Lawrence is still suffering from a pulled tendon in the thumb.
You know, Lawrence had such a great season last year, and I hate to see him start out injured. So there were a lot of top 5 rides last year, a couple podium finishes. I'd really like to see Phil just get healthy and try and get back to the level he was with last year.
It's a tough year to do it. Like Art said, Damon Bradshaw picked a heck of a year to come back with the amount of depth. Any kind of a problem this year that you have to be nursing out there, and it's really tough to just make the main event. For Phil, it's been a disappointing season so far after how strong he started out last year.
Okay, in recap, we've got Lamson way out in front. Then it's Swink, Jimmy Button, Phil Lawrence, and here comes Kevin Wyndham. Wyndham already's got his qualifying position if he stays upright. But it kind of looks like he'd like to take on Phil Lawrence, guys.
Well, I think he needs to get up there a little quicker and do a little bit more for his confidence. Here he is in a semi behind all the guys that he really, I think on a 125, probably be able to beat some of these guys. And 250 is just a lot more of a motorcycle out there. And you can see he's just a little bit more tentative here and there, and that's smart. He's got to save his body for the 125 Nationals as well as the Supercross. Last year he had a broken collarbone, missed some races, and can't afford that again.
David, who's he remind you of? A Ronnie Lachine or maybe a Rick Johnson on that bike?
I can't figure out what he reminds me of really. Wyndham is just a combination of a lot of people. He rides a lot like Lachine in terms of standing up, not putting his foot out for the corner. He's got great balance, great instincts, and he's young, and he's already a major rider.
5-4. We'll get the transfer when we come back.
I keep thinking about those hunters we surprised today.
Oh, did you see the looks on their faces when they ran for their ATV?
Yeah, that one guy had a Suzuki King Quad. Did you see it take off up that hill and into the woods? I didn't even bother going after it.
Oh, yeah, them Suzuki's got a lock in front differential, independent suspension. You can't touch them.
I bet that other guy wishes he'd had a King Quad.
Oh, yeah, that guy was delicious.
The Suzuki King Quad. More features than your friend's ATV.
Hi, Chuck. How's business?
Okay.
Hey, what's on your screen?
QuickBooks accounting software from the makers of Quicken.
Yeah, I really don't have time to learn new software.
If you can write a check, you can use QuickBooks. Answer a few questions, and it tailors itself to your business. Create invoices like these. It has accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, and inventory, and over 60 customizable reports that put you in control.
I'm going to try it.
Nothing to lose.
Call 1-800-344-8300.
6 cylinders, 6 carbs, 2 bags, 1 windshield. It's a good thing we got 50 states. The new Valkyrie Tour. America's the boulevard it was born to cruise.
Wall Street Journal keeps you on the cutting edge with news and insights that can affect you personally and professionally. Subscribe now and have the Journal delivered to your home or office. Now, with your paid 10-week subscription, you'll also receive our gift of 2 weeks free. That's 12 weeks of the Journal for just 66 cents a day. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call now, 800-293-4700. That's 800-293-4700 for the Wall Street Journal.
Welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana, the RCA Dome. Steve Lampson way out in front here in the second semifinal round with Brian Swink in second place, Jimmy Button in third. This is the battle for fourth and fifth.
You see Wyndham landed off that finish line jump, jumped all the way over it where Lawrence came up a little short. Wyndham just stood up around the corner. That's like I was saying about Ron Lachine. Lachine used to be the best at that.
Let's go down to Marty Reed. Marty.
Guys, for second place, Brian Swink. I'm sort of hoping that he gets to the podium, because if he takes off his helmet, you're going to see blue hair. That's right. It's the Dennis Rodman look of Supercross. He says, no, I'm not doing it for Rodman. He says, I just want to be different. It's definitely different. I hope we get a chance to look at it.
Well, after not qualifying in the first round and taking a 20th in the second round, not running in the third and a 14th in the last round, that will make him unique.
And he needs something different.
Final lap, Lampson with a huge lead.
You know, before we even get to see him take his helmet off, maybe we'll see one of those Brian Deegan Ghost Ride launches. He's a Team Moto XXX teammate of Deegan's, the 125 rider.
Well, he'll do it, and since then, there's been some very harsh words come out of the AMA. And rightly so, for the safety of everyone.
Of course.
Lampson continuing to lead out front, but look at this battle.
It's Jimmy Button, number 18, putting the heat on Phil Lawrence.
They don't look like teammates right now because of the different colors, but they are Team Chaparral teammates. And I can guarantee you Larry Brooks is holding his breath a little bit, saying, guys, be smart. You're in the main. Don't take each other out.
Kevin Wyndham, you're right, being very conservative. So the checkered flag gets ready for number 4. Steve Lampson of Team Honda, the Lone Ranger for the Red Riders.
No hill clicker?
No, I think he's all business.
I think he and McGrath have the same thing in mind tonight.
Okay. Only 2 more places to be determined with the LCQ. We'll be right back in a moment.
Something new just stepped into PFI, the Laredo Perform Air, an athletic shoe dressed up like a boot. Classy, casual, colors, completely you. What comfort, what a price. Men's, women's, and don't forget the kids. The Laredo Perform Air, on sale now at PFI. Come in and try on a pair and feel what it's like to walk on air in a pair of Laredo Perform Airs from PFI. And we're not kidding.
Right now, there are great movies all over cable TV. But where? I'll tell you. The Cable Guide. Oh, it's the easiest, most comprehensive guide to everything on cable for the entire month. Don't bother the actor! I mean, this month alone, the Cable Guide lists over 1,300 comedies and romances and specials. Can I have an autograph? If you can. Sign this. So, have your people call my people and get the Cable Guide.
Don't miss a moment of great entertainment. Get the Cable Guide. Call 1-800-228-8624.
Call me.
We're back in Indianapolis, Indiana, and 5 more riders get gate positions for the main event. Steve Lampson, Brian Swink, Phil Lawrence, Jimmy Button, and that 125 rider trying to get used to the 250, Kevin Wyndham. Let's go down now to Marty Reed, who's with Steve Lampson.
Very happy Steve Lampson down here on the podium. Second time we've talked here after winning in the semis. Last time was Phoenix. I don't want to bring up what happened in the main. Let's talk about what happened here, though. Good run for you. Good start.
Yeah, my heat race didn't go all that well for me, and I rode good, but I got 5th, and I just got a better start that race, and just got a little more time on the track and a little more loosened up, so that's good, and the track's holding up really good, and the fans are great here, man. You got a good turnout, and and hopefully we can just put on a great race for the people in the main event.
As far as track conditions, you're the first one that's really brought it up. You're saying it's holding up better than you expected?
Well, last couple weeks ago in Seattle it was a lot worse, so this isn't so bad, and we got a few races on it before they redone it last time, and it wasn't too bad that race. So I think for as long as they prep it for the main events, it'll be good.
Steve Lamson, he's heading to the main.
Okay, Marty, Steve Lamson, his team Honda still searching for the right combination to get back on that main podium. Taking a look now at the 97 schedule as we invade the Southland. Next week in Atlanta, then on to Daytona before it's back to the Midwest. To always a packed house in Minneapolis. Then to Houston and Orlando before going to the always exciting St. Louis. Boy, last year's race was a humdinger. To Pontiac, a traditional place for this Supercross series. Then to Charlotte, Dallas, and ending things up with a big one, guys, in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I'm curious to see what happens with that race. From what I understand, there's some talk they might not be at the Speedway. Might be back to Sam Boyd's Silver Bowl, and that's always a great race there. Tight racing, good track.
And a good intimate track close to the riders. We'll be back with more racing from Indianapolis in a moment.
Now, the bike you want equals big-time bucks, correct? Incorrect. Do the math. During Suzuki Fest 97, get up to $500 in Suzuki accessories free with a selected Suzuki, like the awesome GSX-R 1100. You also get free accessories with the Katana 600 and 750 and the RF 900R. And choose from financing options like 0 down and 9.9% APR on selected models. But hurry, Suzuki Fest won't last. So you plus Suzuki equals... Oh, come on, add it up.
1-800-COLLECT presents Max Jerome, Private Eye.
When I saw her, my heart started pounding like a heavyweight speed bag until she started calling Collect without dialing 1-800-COLLECT.
You could be saving up to 44% by dialing 1-800-COLLECT, Angel. Let me show you how it's done.
It's so easy. Now let me show you how it's done.
Any Joe will tell you, 1-800-COLLECT is the easy way to save up to 44%.
The best games of the NHL season are being played right now. Subscribe to NHL Center Ice as the action heats up and the competition for Stanley Cup playoff spots gets more intense. You'll see hundreds of games, up to 25 a week. For a limited time, there's a half-season package available through DirecTV. It's only $89. Call DirecTV today. NHL Center Ice, from your friends at the NHL and ESPN.
AMA Supercross on ESPN2 is being brought to you by Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Quality training for the motorcycle industry.
In our Honda flashback, we'll take you back to 1989 at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. And at the drop of the gate for the main, number 10, Honda's Guy Cooper gets the hole shot, followed closely by number 7, Jeff Stanton. And as these two battled, they opened up a sizable lead over the rest of the pack as Stanton, to the inside, takes over the lead. But Guy Cooper, still looking for that first Supercross win, kept the pressure on. And through the whoop section, Stanton, all muscle, a little bit out of control, overshoots the corner off the racetrack, handing Guy Cooper the lead. Stanton doing an excellent job of getting back into the race without hooking up any banners in the rear tire, but he's got heavy pressure from number 4, Ron Lachine, and number 1, the Magic Man. On a 5-race win streak, Rick Johnson takes over third from Ron Lachine and sets his sights on his teammate and friend, Jeff Stanton. And just like we'd seen in the first 5 rounds, Johnson on a tear, carving his way to the front, and once again, Stanton could only watch as Johnson takes over the lead from his teammate, number 10, Guy Cooper. But then things got interesting. Number 10, Guy Cooper, approaching a lapped rider, gets out of control and does the Superman, but not on purpose. And while all eyes were on Cooper, Stanton took over the lead from Johnson. But in a last-ditch effort, Johnson to the outside loses the front end and any hopes of winning number 6, handing Stanton his first ever Supercross win.
We'll be in Atlanta next week, but Atlanta 1989, it was the first win for one of the sport's great legends. While we're away, the winners of the LCQ, Tommy Clowers of SMP's crew, and Keith Johnson has made both the 125 and 250 main events. The cross-country rider out of New England, Keith Johnson, rounding out the field, securing one of the last 2 positions at the gate out of the LCQ. Tonight in the RCA Dome, it's interesting to open a new season. And tonight we're opening the 125 East. After 4 races out west, it's time for a new set of youngsters to take center stage. 17-year-old Stéphane Roncada from France ran in a couple of Western region races for no points and was initiated quickly.
I was thinking that I could win because I know Ramsey, he's a pretty good rider, but he was doing a lot of mistakes and he was getting tired. And it was maybe only 5 laps before the end. And I was okay, and I was, yes, I'm going to win this race, I'm going to win it. And when I saw him crash, oh my God. He was like this in the air, and I couldn't miss his back in the landing, and couldn't start again because of my shifter. And I was really sad after that.
Number 70, Ricky Carmichael, in his first full Supercross season, found running at Steel City last year opened his eyes up to the challenge ahead.
The pros, for sure, you know, they just don't let you pass them. You know, you have to work for it, and they're going to bump you if you give them a inside line. You know, you just have to protect your line, and I did learn a lot from Steel City, you know, and riding with them guys makes me faster, you know. I mean, in amateurs, I could win, you know, by a good margin. But when I got to the pros, it made me faster riding with somebody faster than me. So I think it's going to be a good learning year for me, and so I'm happy.
Number 29, Scott Sheik, got the break of a lifetime when Team Honda pulled him out of the privateer ranks. He's anxious to get the season underway.
I have been waiting, but I think that, you know, I've had a lot of time to practice and test and to get myself ready for this race. I feel that maybe, you know, sometimes you take your chances going out there and racing a little early. You know, things can happen, and mentally it could bring you down or it could bring you up, you know. But I think my mental edge is really far up there right now, and I feel really good for this race. So, you know, I don't think they have an advantage on me at all.
For seasoned veterans like John Dowd, this year's run for the 125 East Crown is a key to his future.
There's just a whole bunch of new guys out there, and, you know, maybe guys coming back from being hurt or whatever, but it definitely seems like there's a lot of competition, and you know, I don't think it's going to be an easy class by any means either. Any class, you know, you look at the East, the West, the 250 class is incredibly tough, and but I think it'll be fun.
The past winners in the 125 here in Indianapolis, as you see here, 4 of the 5 anyway, Mikel Pachon, Ezra Lusk, and Doug Henry. I think it's significant that those last 4 winners here in Indianapolis have gone on to win the 125 Eastern Crown.
Scott Sheik's stock just went up after blitzing hit the first heat race win. His first ride for Honda. Went right around Roncada, got into the lead, and looking good so far.
Our Suzuki starting grid as we take a look at all the 125 riders, the future stars of this sport. I've got to agree with you. Scott Sheik looked very cool for being so nervous before the race.
Yeah, I know that he had a lot of pressure from Roncada, the Frenchman there. Roncada, of course, took advantage of that East-West rule, gave him a chance to get a few races under his belt. But to beat Roncada in a race like this, I think it did a lot for Scotty's confidence. I hope he shakes some of those nervous cobwebs out of himself.
Well, it's best to get into the win column early in the 125 East if you want to win the title. The rider who has won the first round of the 125 East only event has won the East Championship 10 of the 12 years that we've been racing 125. Roncada shaking those arms out as we look into the eyes of Scott Sheik. Let's go down to Marty.
Well, you talk about Scott Sheik, a factory ride carries with it a lot of pressure. After the heat, I went up to him, I said, hey, you feel like a ton of pressure's off your shoulders? He looked at me, smiled, and said, absolutely.
50,815 fans here at the RCA Dome are ready for the first main event of the evening as we get set to go. Who will win the 1 in 900 Pro Race Pole Shot Award of $500?
I'm going to bet on Carmichael, guys. I know it's his first East Coast Supercross. That's who I think is going to do it.
Will it be Tim Ferry, Sheik, Dowd, Roncada, Bogart, Carmichael, as Davey seems to think it will be?
Carmichael's lined up just to the inside of Roncada and Sheik. If he gets a good jump, he'll control that first turn.
They've got the chalk line right after the first turn, and we are off. Sheriff Pedersen will get the $500, number 25.
Well, Carmichael got the whole shot all right, but he couldn't make the corner. There he is, just getting going.
Sellers is out there in front, number 80.
Looks like Paul Curry next to him. Those two guys grew up together on Team Green. Kind of neat to see them out here in a Supercross race together.
Brock Sellers. It is very interesting, and what a battle we have for first. Number 25 is Chad Pedersen. He's just coming off the arena cross circuit. Paul Curry out in front. Chad Pedersen makes the move. Chad Pedersen will cross the finish line after lap number 1 in the lead. He won $10,000, gentlemen. The High Point man at the halfway mark of the Arena Cross Series. But is riding with Chaparral now in the 125 main event here tonight.
There's a 5-rider battle for the lead. Look at the mess. It's just a traffic jam. All these guys are running into each other. Now John Dowd joins the picture, and Pingree is on the move.
Pingree, number 57 of Pro Circuit. He has Curry in his sights. Curry currently in second place. We got some surprises up front here.
This has the makings of a fantastic main event.
John Dowd has just moved into 4th place with a burst of speed.
Some of the favorites just behind this battle right here. Number 22, Tim Ferry. Also, Carmichael coming up from behind.
Ron Cotta has moved into 5th.
You know, Pingree's a pretty aggressive guy. I think he's going to push some of these guys around. We just saw him do Curry there in that corner. Pingree is the assassin of this 125 class.
Number 25 is our leader, Chad Pedersen, and down goes. Yes,
it's Pingree.
Pingree goes down, and he takes a rider with him.
That wasn't his fault. I think Curry lost control there, and then Pingree had no choice but to run right in the back of him. That changes things, and it looks like we might have someone hurt.
Well, let's check it out. See how it happened, David. There's Curry, 67.
Curry gotten out of control right there. Dowd, watch Dowd goes just to the inside, almost runs over Curry, but just like Davey said, Pingree had nowhere to go.
Here is our leader, number 25, Chad Pedersen, with Ron Cotta, and a battle with John Dowd for second place. It's Ron Cotta has moved into second.
Because of a rider going down on the triple jump, all these guys are having to single each one. Pedersen still got a pretty nice lead over Ron Cotta.
Here's Chad Pedersen out in front. Ferry has moved into 4th.
I'm anxious to see what Pedersen does late in the race. Like you guys said, he's used to that arena cross stuff where we're talking about, 6-7 minute sprint races. Now he's on a big track, but at the same time, he's got a long race. It's going to be at least 15 minutes tonight.
Ron Cotta, number 112 from the south of France, fulfilling a dream that began when he rode a friend's motorcycle at 4 years old in France. His parents gave him a Christmas present, and here he is in the United States in the main event of his first 125 Eastern Championship race.
And now just behind this battle, John Dowd coming through, then Tim Ferry, then Scott Sheik. Scott Sheik has worked his way into the picture. He's following Tim Ferry, who seems like he's on the move. These two guys have hooked up and caught these leaders. There's still plenty of time for them to challenge the lead.
Number 80, Sellers, is right behind Sheik. So we have a good battle, but now it is a freight train behind number 25.
It's kind of neat how two independent team riders, semi-factory, whatever you want to call them. Oh, here comes Ricon on the inside.
Oh, tries just to squeeze a wheel in, but Pedersen looking back, accelerates off the corner. Nice move by Ron Cotta. He looks like more of an experience than a 17-year-old rider, David Bailey.
He looks fantastic. He made a nice move there out of that corner. Let Pedersen know that he was there, kept the pressure on, took Pedersen out of his rhythm for a moment, and just slipped to the inside, doing a lot of little tricky moves like we used to see from Jean-Michel Bailey, coming out of nowhere and making a line where there didn't seem to be one.
Oh, look at here. John Dowd makes the pass. Now on Chad Pedersen.
I was just going to say something about the independent team riders running first and second with three factory guys, Dowd, Ferry, and Sheik coming up behind him. So you said that there went Dowd using the advantage of that work suspension, I guess, to outpower Pedersen through the whoops.
John Dowd not having a great deal of time to work on the 125 bike as he's been riding 250s in the Western Division. He's trying to put the pressure on Ron Cotta as we can see Ferry now making a move on Chad Pedersen for third. Dowd trying to move inside.
Ferry goes to the inside of Pedersen, takes over third. He's got his eye on the leaders. I think he realizes that if he can't get around Pedersen for a couple more laps, Ron Cotta and Dowd would be gone. Sheik is next. You see Sheik back there working on Pedersen.
Behind Ron Cotta and Dowd, it's Ferry. Here comes Sheik. Got Sheik moving into contention now.
Maybe Pedersen is getting tired after all.
Takes a lot more pressure than what he's had to deal with in the arena crosses. He put together great performances. Did a good job for the first few laps, but the pace here is just amazing. These guys are not, they're pushing as hard as they can go. I think some of these guys are going to start to get tired later in the race. The guy that's the most fit is probably going to come out on top.
Scott Sheik in fourth position, trying to make a move on Tim Ferry in third. Now Ron Cotta has opened up a 2.5-second lead on John Dowd in front. As we go in the back of the pack to see Chad Pedersen, number 25, trying to make a move.
Yeah, I know he's not on our screen right now, but Ricky Carmichael's very quietly moved up to 7th place after going down the first turn there. Might see if he can catch up with Sheik. That'd do a lot for Ricky's confidence.
And the young Frenchman, Stefan Ron Cotta. Can he win his first American Supercross? We'll find out when we get back.
It's over 8 feet long from one end to the other. And it makes you look for the farthest distance between 2 points. The new Valkyrie Tour. America's boulevard it was born to cruise.
10 cents may not look like much to you, but sign up for Sprint Cents Long Distance now, and you'll be amazed at what this little dime can do.
Every time I get another dime, I think about calling my agent for just 10 cents a minute. So what if he puts me on hold?
Barb, your agent's on the phone.
Coming. Yes.
Funny, ever since I got Sprint's dime a minute rate, I can call anywhere in the country and know exactly what I'm paying every month. Nothing surprises me. Hi.
Suddenly, it all makes sense. I work all day, so at 10 cents a minute nights and weekends, I can give myself the green light to talk.
Call for Sprint Cents now, and you'll pay just 10 cents a minute at the times you call most.
Of course, I could pay more at those times, but that wouldn't make sense.
To me, the biggest bonus is I get 10% cash back.
That's cool. With Sprint Cents, it all makes sense. See for yourself. Call now, 1-800-621-7491.
Yeah, we do causes. If it's something we truly believe in our hearts.
In this league, there's something brewing. You can see it in Patrick Ewing.
When it's an extra step he's taking, it's a rule he is breaking.
Yeah, if it's a worthy cause, we get involved.
Don't walk, you're the pros after all. Don't walk, come on, ref, make the call. Don't walk, big men, you know who you are.
It's love.
Welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana. The 125 main event is underway. It is Stefan Ron Cotta in the lead with Dowd in second place, Tim Ferry in third. In fourth, number 25, Chad Pedersen. And in fifth, Scott Sheik, the lone team Honda rider.
Pedersen's thrown up a roadblock in front of Sheik. Sheik's lost contact with Ferry there. He needs to move around, and I'm telling you, Stellards and Carmichael aren't out of the shed either. They can move up on that Honda factory bike. Although there, Pedersen just missed some jumps, and looks like he lost spots to both Sheik and Stellards.
Carmichael trying to make a move on that double team. Can he sandwich through? Oh. Carmichael runs into the back.
I don't think he counted on Stellars to make that inside like that. Carmichael was jumping out of that triple. Had nowhere to go, but right into the side of Stellars.
So an unlucky break for Ricky Carmichael in his first full season of Supercross, banging into the back of Stellars. Let's see if we can get another look at that now. See exactly what happened.
Here it is, right there, just at the tail end of it. Carmichael going right into the back end of Stellars. If he'd have been a little bit more to his right, he'd have gone right into Stellars' body. So it was fortunate for both those guys to get away without an injury.
Meanwhile, out in front, it's 112 with number 14, John Dowd, putting the pressure on Ron Cotta. Ron Cotta looking back like as if to say, where did you come from?
Dowd's one of those guys that gets stronger and stronger as the race wears on. He has caught Ron Cotta. He's faster. I got to think he's at least as fit, if not more so.
Well, that time on the 250s definitely helped him as far as his strength goes. Like you said, twice the power, twice the strength. We'll see.
Now Dowd's just got to be clever and not give himself, if he was to go for the move right now, Ron Cotta's smart enough to maybe retaliate. So if Dowd can keep the pressure on right here, make his pass late in the race, he may be able to make it stick.
Let's check it out right here. Dowd does not make the move on Ron Cotta like he thought he might. Let's go down to Marty.
Yeah, we're down here with Brian Berry. Brian, he's got him all over Stefan. Does he have enough experience to pull this off, do you think?
John definitely does. This is what he wanted. Not that great of a start, and then get him from behind.
We're going to let you get back to it. They're coming by again.
Right now, Roncada, number 112, is starting to approach some lappers in Ricky Carmichael and John Dowd, number 14.
Yeah, disastrous night for Pro Circuit. Pingree, we saw him crash. Carmichael's just riding around right now. He's got no front brake lever. We see him getting ready to lap him, as a matter of fact.
Both the lappers really putting a clamp on Roncada. John Dowd pulling up nicely now.
Through the whoop section one more time. That whoop section, unfortunately, is one of the best sections on the racetrack in practice, but becoming more one line. John Dowd almost going off the racetrack right there. Every lap he goes wide, tries to do something a little different. He's got to. You can't pass if you're following.
Guys, we have to hand it to Roncada. He's taking the best line, and he's not panicking.
Yeah, not yet. I saw that time he had a good chance to capitalize on the mistake Dowd made, and he kind of messed his rhythm up down through there. He could have gotten a second or so on him. He wants to be as far away from John Dowd as he can when he gets to the whoop section, because I'm telling you, that Yamaha rider's better through the whoops.
Roncada, who started his competition in Los Angeles, since the new 125 rule allowed him to get some practice races under his belt, and he did very well, David Bailey, with the exception of one time. It wasn't his fault. He landed on Nathan Ramsey. John Dowd giving a tremendous part of our battle, but Roncada holding his line. Dowd going wide. He'll have the momentum, maybe. John Dowd.
Dowd's got the inside. See if Roncada could square him off.
Roncada wisely staying on two wheels as John Dowd has moved into first place here with the 125 main event, round number 5 of the Supercross Series.
Last year, John Dowd became the oldest man, the first 30-something rider to win a 125 Supercross. He's going to add another year onto his own record.
That's right. He won it in Atlanta.
There's
Tim Ferry in third place.
He's had a great pace going, but the pace of the leaders was the same, so he hasn't been able to make up any time at all, but he's got a mile back to fourth.
And if you think that's far, it's even further back to Sellards and these other guys. Sheik is behind him. Carmichael's riding around. He's got no front brake or a clutch lever. Kind of interesting to ride, but I'm telling you, it's, I think as this track gets rougher, we're going to see more and more guys making mistakes.
Number 14 pulling his 2.5-second lead now on second place, Stefan Roncada.
I think Roncada had dealt with that pressure long enough, finally realized that it'd be smart for him at this point to just settle for second place. Dowd's just got a little bit too much for him, and to risk trying to go faster, right out of his comfort zone. There's a stopwatch. We're going to put it on Roncada, see if we can get a lap time. About 5 seconds back to Tim Ferry in third, so he is starting to close on Roncada now. It looks like he's beginning to fade.
It'll be interesting to see the lap times with so many bar-to-bar crashes.
See how far it is.
There's Pedersen. That was our old leader.
Scott Sheik still hasn't come around. He's still following Sellards. There they come out of the corner. 30 seconds. That's probably about a half a lap. Maybe a little bit more.
The first 125 main event for Scott Sheik. As far as the Team Honda riders, the very first ride for Ricky Carmichael in a points action. And here's John Dowd, the veteran, 53.9. That's pretty impressive with the lappers up there.
Now he's working his way through the lappers. He's got good enough lines. He's versatile enough out there on the racetrack. Strong enough at the end of the race to continue to pull away. Now he's got enough cushion if he were to make a big mistake in some of the lappers and fall, he could get up and still win this thing.
Tim Ferry now starting to make a move on Stefan Roncada. Roncada did get a second place in the Western no points action that he was practicing in. But Tim Ferry, who says his conditioning is better than it's ever been before, hired a trainer for the first time in his career, said, I'll be able to finish these races better.
Yeah, he and Doug Henry are like the comeback kids this year from injuries. Maybe sometimes it's good to take a little bit of time off.
Final lap, white flag lap for these riders.
Ferry's close enough. They're going to have to encounter some lappers before they get to the finish line turn. If Ferry plays his cards right, could make the pass.
The flashbulb are pumping now as Ferry.
Wow.
Muscles his way by Roncada. Roncada going for the triple. Has the inside, but Ferry had the speed. Oh, Ferry going all kinds of sideways. Almost lost it. Roncada now makes the pass back. Ferry, the checkered flag. Ferry picking off second place. Amazing run.
That was a brilliant move by Ferry. Although he made that mistake, he knew Roncada was coming to the inside. He jammed on the brakes early and cut back in front of him to salvage that second.
I'd say that's the difference between a factory rider and a semi-factory rider.
Let's not overlook the fact, though, with that great race for second place, our winner was number 14, John Dowd. He's 8th in the points this year in the 250s after the first 4 races out on the West Coast. Got back into the 125 East Division. He wants to gain the flag for the 125 Eastern Division for Yamaha this year. We'll be back with the words from John Dowd as well, we hope, from Tim Ferry. Yes, when we get back.
It has a 937cc liquid-cooled 16-valve engine with straight intake tracks, adjustable suspension, and an ultra-rigid twin-tube diamond-type frame. Best of all, it's comfortable on any road. The Suzuki RF 900R.
Six cylinders, 1,520 cc's. You'll go through towns where you'll be the biggest thing that happens all year. The new Valkyrie Tour. America's the boulevard it was born to cruise.
Get ready for the thrill of your life. AMA Supercross live. A Saturday night you'll never forget. AMA Supercross live. The guts and the glory of the best riders in the world. AMA Supercross live. Feel the rush of the most extreme sport on the planet live. AMA Supercross. The 1997 point to the finish. Live it live.
The key move by number 14, John Dowd, in the opening round of the 125 East from Indianapolis as he made the move on Stefan Roncada to move into first place. A great race for John Dowd. What a way to start off the 125 Eastern season for the 31-year-old veteran who will become a father next month in March. Tim Ferry, a great battle, taking second over Stefan Roncada, but a good show from the young 17-year-old Frenchman taking third. As we look at 5 through 10, let's go down to Marty Reed.
Yeah, we're down here with a very happy John Dowd. You know, I was talking to Brian Barry while you were out there. I said, hey, is experience going to be the difference here? And he said, yeah. What'd you think?
Well, I just, you know, I feel pretty confident. I've been riding the 250s the last few weeks, and I know I'm in good shape. And, you know, I know there's a lot of fast guys out here in this class, but the question is going that fast for 15 laps. And, you know, I felt confident that I could do that. So I kind of paced myself at the beginning, and, I felt good right to the end.
Is this a signal of things to come for this year? Is this going to be your year?
I sure hope so. I've been working a lot with Gary Stemix and, you know, just training hard and stuff, and hopefully that's the way it's going to go for the whole year.
Okay, thanks. Congratulations. Let's move over here to second place. Tim Ferry. Wow, what a last lap right at the finish line.
Yeah, you know, I just, I get a lot more money for second than I do for third, and that's what I was looking at.
Well, it's nice that you're very honest about it. Take us through this race, though. Start was not as good as you probably wanted.
You know, I felt really good practicing starts. The first heat race was a really good start. But I think my line was a little too close to that box, and I was more than anything, I was afraid of hitting it with my handlebar. So I don't know. I think I kind of mentally blocked it. But you know, I come out, you know, I don't know, maybe like 8th or 9th. Those guys are in front of me, and the track's really hard to pass, as we've seen in the heat race. So I knew it was going to be tough to pass or catch up, you know. But my arms got a little tight, so I've been off the bike 6 months, so I can't be too unhappy with that. So.
Well, it didn't show it. You ran a good race, and we'll be looking forward to next week in Atlanta. See you then.
Yeah, you know, I'll definitely put my Suzuki up front next weekend, and I'll get rid of a little bit of arm pump, and I'll be ready.
All righty, that's going to do it from down here, guys.
Okay, Marty, a rugged, unlucky debut for Ricky Carmichael, but opening up the 125 East, Dowd holds a precarious 3-point advantage over his opponents. The winner's celebration is underway here at the RCA Dome. The 250 run for big money is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Tricia Springer, and we're here for the Stars Free Preview. Today and all weekend, we're going to bring you the best in first-run films, as well as some timeless classics. This Free Preview weekend, you'll see movies like Mr. Holland's Opus, White Squall, Mr. Wrong, and Happy Gilmore. If you love movies, keep watching all weekend long. The Stars Free Preview. You won't want to miss a minute.
Hi, I'm Bob Bonney for Republic Ford. Join us for our huge inventory sale going on right now.
That's huge inventory.
That's what I said. We have a huge inventory of 97 Rangers with a $1,000 rebate or interest rate as low as 2.9%.
All 97 Rangers, Super Cabs, XLTs, regular cabs, whatever you want.
And whatever it takes. Take advantage of our huge inventory sale going on now only at Republic Ford.
Only 1 minute west of Springfield on Sunshine at 360 miles an hour. Our deal, our real.
You only think everyone is out to get you. The Red Wings versus the Coyotes, tomorrow at 9. The NHL on ESPN2.
It's women's NCAA Sunday basketball. A critical SEC matchup pits the Commodores against Bama's rising Crimson Tide and scoring threat Shalonda Ennis. Vanderbilt versus Alabama, today at 5 on ESPN2.
After veteran John Dowd won the 125 main, we're getting set now for the 250 main. Hello, everybody. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Davey Coombs up top. And, guys, we've had 3 different winners in the first 4 rounds of Supercross action this year. And the way Jeremy McGrath ran through that heat race, could we have another different rider win?
I think it's about time for Jeremy to put up or shut up. He's gone 4 races without a win here in 1997. Last year, it wasn't until the 14th race before he got a loss. Tonight's got to be his night.
Well, he did look good, but I think Jeff Emig and Damon Huffman. Huffman was pressuring for the lead, and also Jeff up another win.
Marty Reed, let's go down to you for the Dunlop track back.
Guys, if you remember back at Phoenix, we were talking about the fact that Jeremy McGrath was talking about lack of low-end torque. Well, believe it or not, if you take 5 millimeters and add it to the length of your exhaust pipe right coming off the block, you can change 10% on your low-end torque. Now, the trade-off is you lose top-end power. Now, the guys won't tell us. Wide Seals won't tell us how much they added to that pipe. They did add to it, however, and obviously it worked because Jeremy was in victory lane in heat number 1.
You see the riders taking their practice lap right now. David Bailey, how important is it now to feel out this track? It looks like the track workers have really melted it down.
Well, actually, I think they've made it too easy. I mean, for any of the guys like Henry, I think, who didn't seem to be bothered by the ruts in Seattle, and certainly not in his heat race, that could be to his disadvantage because everyone's going to be able to do everything without any real technicality. There's nothing really tricky on the track right now, so that maybe could be the advantage of McGrath, who really didn't seem to like the ruts much.
Our Suzuki starting grid: Jeremy McGrath, Jeff Emig, Steve Lampson, Mike LaRocco in the bunch. Davey, are you a little bit surprised that it's so clean?
Yeah, actually I am. When we started out the evening, I saw the tacky dirt. I saw the way the ruts were coming up, and I was thinking this is a Doug Henry track. But as we were waiting for the main event to get underway here, the track crews, they had 3 big bulldozers out there. They did a heck of a job cleaning the thing up. And I'm telling you, it went from a Henry track to a McGrath track real quick. The ruts are gone.
Well, we'll see if they, number 1, can take advantage of that, as Emig, number 3, is just to his right. Wyatt Seals, the mechanic, getting ready. There's Craig, Michael Craig, very, very quick. Mike Kudrowski, number 100. He's getting better and better each week. And Steve Lampson, number 4.
Even though Steve had to go to that semi, he still looked good. Been riding good. He got a little bit more time on the racetrack. There's Wyatt. hopefully telling Jeremy the things he needs to hear right now before he goes out for this main.
Jeremy's really impatient for a win, but he's controlling that emotion with a very constructive work ethic and lots of testing.
Well, he's always had the patience, and he's earned that right to have that kind of patience for the kind of winning that he's done in the past, to let that race come to him. And right now, he's actually been letting the series come to him. He's not that far behind, considering a 15th at the first round.
Yeah, look at that sign. A Doug Henry fan here in Indianapolis. He's gained a lot of fans coming back from that miraculous surgery. It's get tense time, David.
You know, I don't think the riders ever outgrow this feeling. Every one of them, I can tell you how that feels, and it's not good. But as soon as the gate drops, it all changes. I wish my whole career I could have somehow not had that anxiety, but it's always there.
Okay, let's see who can get to the 1/900 Pro Race Whole Shot Award of $1,000 first. They are off. Emig with a good start out in front, number 3. Emig will collect the $1,000, but he's got all kinds of action right behind him. Larry Ward, number 6. Jeremy McGrath is in 4th, gunning for number 3.
Doug Henry with another great start. Got a good look at the lead, and Larry Ward, once again, every week, so strong in the beginning of the race. Got another great shot.
It's miraculous. He's only 13 points off the lead after 4 rounds with very consistent riding on that Honda Joy machine. The battle right now is for 3rd between McGrath and Doug Henry.
In our last shot, we just saw Ryan Hughes go riding through, and also Steve Lamson went down in the early laps. Now, the first couple of corners, I mean, both those guys are going to have to come from last, as is Phil Lawrence.
I told you guys I was very curious to see what happened if Henry and McGrath started together. Right there you see him, 3rd and 4th.
Emig, Ward, Henry, McGrath. Boy, what a battle this could shape up to be, with Huffman, Craig, LaRocco, and Albertine, and Kudrowski behind them.
The way the track is right now, it's all dozed clean, so no one's going to make any mistakes until a little bit later in the race. I have a feeling it's going to be a fast pace, and all these guys are going to stay glued together. Uh-oh. Out front, Emig in the mechanics area went a little bit wide right out of this loop section here, collected the banners in his rear wheel. There you see him. That's going to mess up his rear brake.
Rush, that'll probably come into play much more later on. You see Larry Ward might already sense that, starting to make an attack. Going to melt his back brake if he's not careful.
And Doug Henry has stepped it up, number 20, coming through the whoops behind Larry Ward.
Now, what a bad break for Emig. If this does start to cause him some problems, when you get that in there, it starts to kind of, it's like the wheel feels like it's always got the brake on. And then in a few more minutes, that's going to melt, and then he's not going to have a rear brake.
Jeff Emig trying to hold on to the lead after getting the whole shot. Picked up the flags near the mechanics area. Larry Ward, Henry, and McGrath ready to take advantage of it. Let's go down to Marty Reed.
All right, you know what's going on out there. Does he know what's going on, and how worried are you about all that streamer clogged up in there?
Actually, he has no idea, but I'm not really too worried. Just kind of look at it. It's on the sprocket side, so at least it's not near the disc, so everything should be okay. From what it looks like, it's still going fast. We have nothing to worry about so far.
Yeah, but I bet you think you wished you had this happen on the last lap, not the first.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's definitely the wrong time.
That last shot we just got of Emig going over the finish line, you can see up in the air, he tapped the rear brake, and you can see the wheel stop. So right now, it's not giving him any problem at all.
I've only seen one race where that many streamers in a rear wheel did not affect the rear brake, but I've seen it many times go the other way late in the race. Look at the battle now. Henry starting to really apply the pressure onto number 6, Larry Ward.
Well, all the guys behind Emig can see that problem, and they can smell it. They're trying to take advantage as soon as they can, but the pace is so quick right now, no one can do anything. They're all riding the same pace.
An inspired performance by the native right here from Indiana, Mike LaRocco with a good start, Davey, for the first time in long.
Yeah, but, you know, he's back to the same thing. Mike's got to learn to attack more. I know I can't say Mike LaRocco needs to learn stuff. He's got all the championships and the race wins and everything. At the same time, he's always suffered from the same thing, Art. He's too late in attacking at the beginning of the race. He's going to let the leaders get away right now if he's not careful.
Huffman slacking off in 5th. We've got a 4-rider train out front.
Another train behind these guys. It's going to get a little bit different. It's going to change. See Jeremy getting a little sideways in that rut, entering that loop section. Kept the gas on. That incredible balance. Didn't lose any time to Henry.
You guys get the feeling that this battle for third and fourth might be the battle for the win that we're seeing? Whenever one of these guys...
Here goes McGrath. Oh, he almost got the wheel inside and had to back off, Davey.
Yeah, as soon as one of those guys gets a clear run, I have a feeling you're going to see him freight train up. See what happens.
Emig still wheeling away as we take a look at the defending champion, Jeremy McGrath. Third in points, but still without a victory. A long time coming for Jeremy.
Well, I certainly think that Jeremy is a contender for the title. I know he knows that. A lot of people feel that. He may have to, in contrast to last year, settle for some seconds and thirds in order to get there, because no one's going to give it to him. Right now, Henry, the hottest guy on the planet, he's still got to get around to him just to get into third place.
Emig, Ward, Henry, McGrath, and Huffman our lineup, with the top four pulling away a little bit from Huffman.
Really impressed with Larry Ward, still hanging on. He's had some pressure from the two fastest riders in the country. He's not cracking at all. He's still actually staying pretty close to Jeff Emig.
Still 2 seconds behind number 3 on the Kawasaki, Jeff Emig. Emig still not seemingly having any problem with the rear brake.
Now, if it hasn't happened by now, I don't think it's going to happen at all.
Where in the race course do you really have to depend on that rear brake?
Well, there's a couple of corners. Going into the first corner, you really got to step on the brakes. The corner he just came into, you really got to use the brakes. And over the jumps, in case you jump with the front end a little bit high, you see the rider pull the clutch in, not stall the engine, tap the rear brake to bring that front end back down.
So we've got a 4-group front out front with Emig, Ward, Henry, and McGrath, and a group of 4 coming up behind. Look at the move now. Henry's trying to make a move on Larry Ward. He has the speed across the finish line jump in front of Ward. So now, will he put the heat on Emig? I do believe so, guys.
Well, he's got a clear shot up to Emig. All it took was that little mistake by Ward. Ward's back up to pace. Just that one mistake in those ruts allowed Henry. And Henry was close enough to take advantage. And as they came to the mechanics area, that past lap, Wyatt Steele's put on the board for Jeremy. Focus on Emig. Forget these other 2 guys. Focus on Emig. He's the leader. That's where we want to be.
Does Henry have a chance at 2 in a row? 3 out of 5 on the season. We'll be right back to find out.
The bike you dream about means serious cash, right? Wrong, people. Do the math. During Suzuki Fest 97, get up to $500 in Suzuki accessories free when you buy a selected Suzuki. Like the muscle-bound Intruder 1400. You'll also get free accessories with the Intruder 800 and the Savage 650. And choose from finance options like 0 down and 9.9% APR on selected models. But hurry, Suzuki Fest won't last. So you and Suzuki means, well, you do the math.
1/900 pro rate. Up to the minute race results now.
Bar to bars over the triple. And Pingree right on his tail. Tries to box him out, does so. Kevin Windham. Whoa!
You call 1/900 pro race. Bradshaw coming up now to challenge Doug Henry.
Oh, Pingree goes down with James Dobb.
1/900 pro race is absolutely the best.
Oh, what a bar-to-bar battle we've got going.
1/900 pro race, except no substitute.
NHL tonight, Tuesday through Saturday at 11:30 or after the game, only on ESPN2.
Jeff Emig still our leader with Henry in second place, Larry Ward in third, and McGrath in fourth with Huffman pulling up on McGrath. Number 17, you see him there. The fans and media are so accustomed to Jeremy winning. It's interesting to see him react so coolly to his current status.
Well, I think, as you know and as everyone else knows, no one's ever seen this part of me. You know, I'm kind of on a long roll here, not winning a race, and you know, of course I'm impatient. I'm a winner. You know, I want to win bad, and it's been a while. But you know, I thought last week we had a week off and we were supposed to go place, you know, snowboarding, Mammoth and stuff, and I stayed home and tried to focus a little more on my riding.
I thought when Doug Henry went past Larry Ward, we'd see Jeremy attack immediately, but instead he's got Damon Huffman, he's got sneaking up on him. Wyatt told him to focus on Emig, but he might be wanting to focus on the rearview mirror.
Right now, look how much distance Doug Henry has made up since he passed Larry Ward. He's right on the rear fender now in certain places on the racetrack to Jeff Emig.
Michael Craig is making a move, has just almost passed Larry Ward. Yes, number 15. Michael Craig not only passed Ward, he passed McGrath. Michael Craig proving many, many races ago that he's a very quick rider.
Jeremy lost his sync on that lap really bad. We see him getting slower and slower. There might be something wrong there. Now LaRocco's went by. He is spiraled backwards in the pack. He's down to about 8th now. I wonder what's going on.
I don't know, but Doug Henry still having trouble catching up with number 3, Jeff Emig out in front. Maybe could it be a flat tire? We're trying to zero in as tight as we can on these shots. Larry Ward getting a flat tire in the qualifying heat. Let's go down and see about an update from Marty Reed.
Well, what we just were told by Wyatt, he wants to get a message to Jeff here, or Jeremy, as soon as he goes by. I did ask him if he thought it was a flat. He said, no, it's not a flat. He's not 100% sure what's wrong, but Jeremy McGrath has dropped 2 spots in 1 lap. It looks like, I'm trying to see if he's having trouble. It looks like, is he grabbing for the clutch handle?
Yeah, seems that way. It looked like that when he drove by there that time, but I don't know. Gotta wait till he comes in to find out.
Wyatt's as baffled as we are, guys, but look, keep your eye on that clutch.
David and Davey, they've been working on that clutch for weeks.
Well, that's what makes motocross so difficult. There's no timeout. There's no break. There's no way he can come in and fix that. If you got a problem out there, you just got to get used to it and keep riding. And right now, you can see just one little thing is messing with the concentration of McGrath, and he's dropped 3 spots.
Jeff Emig, number 3, is looking for his second victory, and he's doing a very good job of keeping out in front of Doug Henry.
You know, I'm very surprised that that banner's not bothering Jeff Emig. I know he knows it was back there. When he picked up the banner right in front of the mechanics there, I saw him take a look back, but it's not messed up his concentration whatsoever.
Larry Ward is still staying very close to Doug Henry. There's Emig up over the finish line jump, unable to jump that entire plateau now because the ruts in the face of that jump. And behind him, Henry and Larry Ward, and now Huffman really closed the gap. This is shaping up to be a great battle, which could be to the favor of Emig if he can stay with this little bit of cushion out front.
Emig currently 4th in the point standings, 22 points behind the leader, Doug Henry. And that's mainly because, like Jeremy, he's fighting off one bad race. But he came back to win in Phoenix to put him back in the middle.
David, what we're seeing right now, Doug Henry, is what happens all the time in racing. You know a lot about this. You're so worried about the guy behind you, you lose track with the guy in front. This might be the break Jeff Emig needs to get away.
Definitely. He's already starting. You already can see the effects of it.
Larry Ward can sense it, too. Larry Ward has picked up the adrenaline as well as the throttle.
Well, a little mistake right there by Ward, but he quickly regains his composure. Doesn't lose too much time. It gives you so much confidence when you get passed by a guy like Henry. Just because you make a mistake and then you stay right on his rear fender for a few more laps, you know you got the speed. You're still in the race. Anything can happen.
Okay, Jeff Emig now has pulled a 2.5-second lead on the second place man, Doug Henry. Let's go down to Marty.
Down here with Marshall Plum. Hey, it's amazing what a valve stem will do for you. He's riding well.
Yeah, we kind of got that problem fixed, but we got a tight race going on right here right now, so we got to try and stay focused.
He's got to go to work. He's got his man coming by. The sign says, set up, set up.
Larry Ward in 3rd currently, but he's got Michael Craig, number 15, and he's got number 5, Mike LaRocco, right behind him.
That's the thing about LaRocco. If he could only have that pace, that drive in the beginning of the race, he'd be up there with Henry and Emig. But instead, he's back here fighting for 5th along with Mike Craig. They're moving up on Larry Ward. Maybe their battle will take him up. But if LaRocco could ride like that for all 20 laps, he'd be getting more wins.
Emig gained a 2nd on Doug Henry on the last lap, so he's definitely inspired.
Well, he's pulled away from this battle that we're seeing here with Larry Ward and his teammate, Mike Craig. These guys are having to ride a little bit defensive like Davey was talking about. Now that's allowed Henry to have a little bit breathing room, not worry about those guys, just focus on Jeff Emig. And at that point in the race, where he's got to do something now or it's not going to happen.
Mike LaRocco in front of his home state fans, just moving in front of Michael Craig, number 15. And he's going to take on next Larry Ward. He's got the speed. He cuts in front of Larry Ward. hard. Mike LaRocco has done a fabulous job. Now can he catch Henry?
That's about the fastest I ever saw two guys on the same team get passed by someone else. He went through those guys like right now.
Jeff Emig with a 3-second lead in number 20, Doug Henry. But right now, Mike LaRocco has got a clear shot at Henry, who took a little bobble out of the whoop.
There you get a good idea as they came out of that corner of the interval. There's Henry just in front of LaRocco.
Or they're avoiding that big rut. Many of the riders now that's forming.
There's a big deep rut in just about every section on the racetrack. Was the hot line about 4 or 5 laps ago, but not anymore.
LaRocco yet to land a podium finish this year. Had a real rough time since the reconstruction knee surgery back in '95. He got 4 third-place finishes last year.
You know what? While all this is going on, Jeremy McGrath is just faded further back. I don't know what's wrong. We're watching Huffman and Kudrowski right now. He's way back behind them. He's actually battling with Damon Bradshaw. There's something really wrong in Jeremy's program tonight.
He's in 9th place. This would be disastrous as far as the points battle is concerned.
Damon Huffman just took advantage of another mistake by Larry Ward. He's had a lot of trouble in that section leading up to the finish. Now he's got his other teammate, Kudrowski, who's been riding fantastic tonight, putting the pressure on him. So a potential podium for Larry Ward has just suddenly dropped away.
Henry has not been able to pick up any ground on Emig. He's still 3 seconds behind Jeff Emig, our leader. Then it's LaRocco. Then it's Michael Craig. Then it's Albee. Huffman, Larry Ward, and Mike Kudrowski. Kudrowski, number 100, gets the slingshot effect in the inside. And by the mechanics area, can he hold on against Larry Ward? Yes, MK is in good spot.
Now,
second and third closing up.
This is the time in the race when you start to get tired, when lapped riders start to get in your way, when everything bothers you. You can see LaRocco, a fast finisher, and Mike Craig, both these guys coming up on the back fender of Henry.
With 4 laps remaining, it appears that Emig is going to fight his way back into contention in the points race.
Very, very important race for Emig. I know he rode a very quiet 4th in Seattle, but coming to Indianapolis, first of all, ending Jeremy McGrath's winning streak at 4 here, then beating Doug Henry in a straight-up race with a banner in your back wheel. That's a heck of a night.
Emig is riding fantastic. Larry Ward has started to drop off the pace. There you get a look at McGrath, who's really dropped off the pace, still battling with Damon Bradshaw. You got to think that the way Jeremy looked in the very beginning of the race, something went wrong, and it could be something as simple as arm pump. It's very difficult to detect. Even Wyatt doesn't really know what's happened, but that's the only thing I can figure. Maybe that early fast pace got to Jeremy, and once you get arm pump, there's nothing you can do about it but fade.
Is Mike Kudrowski rounding quickly into form for Honda of Troy after a season off, David Bailey?
He's looking better and better.
Mike LaRocco just passed Doug Henry. As we see number 3, Jeff Emig out in front of them.
Emig's got that whole straightaway right there leading into the whoop section. Watch these guys into the corner. It's LaRocco. Mike Craig is still right there.
Oh, this is anybody's second place, let me tell you.
Albertine snuck up in the 5th very quietly as well.
Well, Henry knows in the points, the 2 guys behind him, McGrath and Larry Ward. He can look over his shoulder in a certain place on the racetrack and see that they're having a terrible night, so he's still going to pad his points lead if he rides smart here, but what a good ride from LaRocco.
Mike LaRocco getting a late start this season after shoulder surgery. But look at number 3, Jeff Emig. Emig winning his first Supercross with a lot of suspect, because that was the Las Vegas race that the lights went out and many of the top contenders did not run against him. But a win is a win when you look back at it. Then he came back to interrupt Jeremy McGrath's win streak last season, winning at St. Louis. As we take a look at the Honda stopwatch to get an idea, he's got a good lead on the second-place rider.
Still not enough on LaRocco. Emig has been riding good. He's still jumping all the triples. He did everything he needed to do. He got the whole shot. He could, if he stays on and holds on to what he's got here, be another 2-race winner here in the 97 season, just like Henry.
White flag lap. As we take a look at lap times, We'll pick it up to see what a blitzing pace Emig has been able to achieve with the banners in the rear wheel. Doug Henry, the blue bike, number 20.
And I give Jeffro all the credit in the world for getting out front and pulling away like that, but imagine if LaRocco started up there with him, what kind of race we'd be having for the win right now.
And, of course, Doug Henry desperately trying to hold on to third as the points leader. It's going to be essential this year that you stay in that top 5. Here's LaRocco, number 5. What a race he's had this year. 15 is Michael Craig.
You see the lap times have really slowed down from what we saw in the 125 class due to the deterioration of the racetrack. Takes that much more energy to ride 250 around here, and Emig is about to put it all together.
This is the first time a Honda has not won Indianapolis as Jeff Emig. Number 3, the winner. LaRocco second. Henry third. Craig, his finest performance of the year, in fourth. And Greg Albertine in fifth. With Kadrowski after that. And Larry Ward along with Damon Huffman. And then Jeremy McGrath. What an interesting race for our 5th round. This has been a fantastic performance by this young man before more than 50,000 fans here at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. We'll be right back. Oh, it's going to be interesting hearing if Jeff Emig knew about the banners in the rear wheel. We'll be right back after this.
Built the first ATV. Now we've built our most powerful, the Foreman 400. Where do we go from here? Just about anywhere we want.
Is a new career in your future? Call Motorcycle Mechanics Institute today and get on the fast track to success. MMI graduate and Harley-Davidson service manager Randall Richards knows what it takes.
When I'm looking to hire new technicians, I need to find somebody who has a broad background and a solid understanding of how Harleys work. You know, somebody who is serious and efficient, ready to go with on-the-job training. I can always find these qualities in an MMI graduate.
Call 1-800-994-3664 today.
AMA Supercross on ESPN2 has been brought to you by Honda, the Red Riders, winners of the last 9 straight 250 Supercross championships, and by Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. Art Ekman, David Bailey, Davey Coombs up top, Marty Reed down to the floor of the stadium, Jeremy Albrecht congratulating Emig, number 3, on his great victory. And the word has come down from our statisticians, guys, that Emig has had some experience with banners in the rear wheel. This is the 2nd time he's won a race with it. I can't remember the first time.
Must have been an outdoor national, because I tell you what, Supercross, I remember him winning Las Vegas, that wonderful race in St. Louis last year, and then Phoenix this year. I'm sure that Jeff would be real proud of himself once he gets to look at the videotape and sees just how much of the twine he had wrapped up in his back wheel.
His 4th Supercross victory, David.
Oh, there he just got a good shot of the rear wheel. It's shaking Troy Lee's hands right there. Troy Lee, of course, painting helmets for all these guys. And, of course, Jeff Emig. Emig putting together 2 wins this year. Early in the season, he joked around with us saying, hey, I don't think I've ever won in January. Well, now he's won in February.
Our top 10, Emig, LaRocco, Henry, Craig, Albertine. And then as we go to 6 through 10, let's go down to Marty Reed.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you know this, but that was the most beautiful parade float I've ever seen go around a racetrack. I mean, I used to decorate my bike like that years ago.
Yeah. My mechanic told me I picked up those flags on the 2nd lap, and I felt the rib brake going away, and I kind of felt it out, and then it started coming back, and I'm okay, now let's go race again. But I was worried.
Well, here's the whole shot award, the 100 Pro Race. That's another $1,000 in the pocket. Nice run there.
Yeah, I'd like to thank 1-900 Pro Race for providing that. And if you need race results, that's who to call. So if you want to know who got the whole shot, you call 1-900 Pro Race.
Hey, he does a better commercial than the commercial, guys. Hey, we'll see Atlanta 2 times now. You won this year at Tempe, and now here. You're going to make it to 2 in a row and 3?
Well, I sure would like to. you know, we had another member of our team leave this week, Rick Ash, our suspension guy. So, you know, I'd like to wish him the best, just like I did Roy, and shoot, at the rate we're going here in a couple of weeks, we'll have nobody left on the team, but we may have about 6 wins. So,
you'll take that trade.
Yeah, but I would like to thank everybody at Kawasaki, Schiff, Arnett, Shoei Helmets, Alpine Star Boots, and Troy Lee Designs, and everybody at home that always helps me.
All right, let's move on over to second place now, because what a comeback charge. I know you wanted the #1 spot, but man, Mike, that was a great run.
Yeah, actually, I felt pretty good tonight. My Suzuki was working real well, and you know, I just kind of let it hang out a little bit. My shoulder felt pretty strong. I rode kind of easy at the beginning, kind of took the race away from myself, but I was surprised how strong I was, so I let it hang out at the end, and I tried to catch Jeff.
Could you hear the crowd?
Yeah, I could hear the crowd, and you know, it helps a lot. I seen him coming. I just, you know, they helped me, but I was giving it all I had, but I just didn't have enough time.
Well, we got another chance at it just next week in Atlanta. Is that you like it down there, don't you?
Yeah, I like all these East Coast tracks. The dirt kind of suits my style more. You know, I just pray that my shoulder stays strong. You know, it's a lot more fun running up front than struggling in the back. So, you know, if I can stay healthy, I plan on being up here a lot more often.
All right, Mike, we'll see you next week in Atlanta. Now, let's move over to third place points leader. He's going to hold on to that points lead, Doug Henry. Want to ask you about the end, because they made a comment up in the booth that maybe you were playing it a little smart, protecting the points and not trying to duke it out with Mike.
Yeah, I really wasn't feeling as strong as I have been in the beginning part of the season. So, you know, I kind of come into this race. I wanted to win, but I wasn't going to ride over my head. And I kind of just rode a smart race tonight. I wasn't feeling 100%. So, you know, I'm happy with the way I finished.
Now, we talked about this before, that the first heat that you were running in was a really tough battle, and that maybe you took a little too much out, and you said no. You rethinking that now?
No, I mean, you know, those heat races, they're really quick, and they're just like, it's really the first chance we get to go out there and ride fast, you know, hard for 8 laps, because in practices they're usually slower guys and stuff, and usually there's hay bales in the track, so you really don't get a chance to really ride hard. So that's just like the first chance you get to go out there and just ride hard.
Well, you did a good job, third place. I know you wanted to move up higher. Everybody always does, but in control of the point.
I'll take it. You know, I've gained points, and that's what I'm here to do, you know. I want to try to secure that points lead.
All right, guys, it's all yours.
Marty, he has done just that with 107 points, held on to that points lead as the guys are scrambling behind him. And what a leap to 90 points for Jeff Emig in second place.
Well, I'm so impressed with the way Emig rode. He knew he needed to get the start, and when that guy needs a start, he gets it every single time. And then he did know that he wrapped up those banners in the wheel, and the brake was starting to go away. And then what a horrible feeling that is when you're in control of a race, you're feeling good, and all of a sudden you have no rear brake, and it's completely out of your control that you have to actually back off the pace and get pressure. But it came back, and like he said, a lot of guys are Team Kawasaki now starting to shrink a little bit, losing Roy Turner and Rick Ash, one of their key suspension guys, but seems like every time they lose somebody, they pick up another win, so it's going good so far.
Yeah, you know, I went to dinner with one of Jeff Emig's mechanic last night, Jeremy Albrecht.
And he didn't get sick?
Didn't get sick. Notice they won't let me get near any of the riders.
Yeah,
but
after Hughes, right?
Yeah, he discussed Rick's contribution to the team and everything like that, and he kind of said the same thing, only he didn't really expect to win. But Jeff made a good point. Everything's going good. They're running on all cylinders. They're doing great. But what about Doug Henry? He's always there. Third place.
Larry Ward, I think, certainly showed the effects of the flu bug that he had all week, or actually 2 weeks now, if not 3 weeks. Taking a 7th place, though, he's still up in the points battle.
Well, he just had to play it smart, and actually, I had the flu during this week off, and I know how that feels, and you can't ride and train. So he came in here, and I know he wasn't 100%. He sure gave it everything he had at the beginning of the race, but having to get a shot early in the week to try to get some strength back and get this whatever he had out of his system certainly didn't help his chances of having some stamina at the end of the race.
Marty, I have unofficially Jeremy back in 9th place, giving him 12 more points. What's the situation from your vantage point?
Well, we ran back into the pit area, and I talked to Wyatt Seals, and it was the clutch that it was slipping, and that is a problem that they're now going to have to go back and diagnose. Jeremy, I asked him if he felt like talking. He shook his head. He was totally frustrated because he really felt after that heat race that this was going to be his night to get back on the victory podium, and this was devastating, not only especially from the morale standpoint, but the points. It's just going to be a really tough road for them to go, for them to get back into this hunt.
He knew at the start it would be difficult because he got such a late start and only 1 week with that bike before Los Angeles, but it's a yo-yo thing for him now.
Well, you know, from the standpoint of Jeremy's mental frame of mind, I think all four of us would agree that he is just, you know, he can focus on whatever it takes. I think the thing that he's going to be looking at is his discussions with Wyatt, with Roger DeCoster, and say, okay, what do we have to do to make this bike bulletproof? Because I know now I can put it up front, and I know we can win, but we've got to find that final link that puts us back on that podium.
Let's not take away from the tremendous effort of Jeff Emmy, making it his 4th Supercross win. Jeffro, as they like to call him, kidded us about his earliest win of his career, winning back in Phoenix, but now it looks like, gentlemen, he's putting a string together of outstanding performances. Art Ekman for David Bailey, Davey Coombs, Marty Reed, thanking you for being with us from Indianapolis. Next week, we'll be coming to you from the Atlanta, Georgia Dome.